Hi, welcome back. I'm Helen.
I'm James.
And we are global nomads. And in 2024, we sold everything we owned to travel the world full time. Last time you saw us, we were leaving Sri Lanka. We just left the Hilton Yala and headed to Colombo, ready to board our flight. Today you're going to see us in Sri Lanka at the airport, fly to Dubai, spend a couple days in Dubai, just a quick layover, before we then fly with Fly Dubai, our new airline, and a new terminal for us from Dubai, over to Doha, where we're going to be spending a few days before we join our cruise ship to head to Africa. You might have seen in previous episodes, while we were in Sri Lanka, I managed to fall down some stairs and hurt my ankle. So we got to the lounge in Colombo by a wheelchair. I got the wheelchair assistance and I'm still wearing the boot. This is a really nice lounge. It's an Emirates branded lounge. Not the biggest, but had all the usual Emirates goodies going on, access to food and drink, and we also had some great runway views.
So this is our Emirates 777-300 after landing, ready to take us on our way to Dubai.
So I took wheelchair assistance out to the plane, and before you knew it, we were back in Dubai. We had a couple nights at the Waldorf Astoria on the Palm. This was a point stay. We didn't do that much there. We were just kind of sorting out our clothes, ready to head on. So you won't see much of the hotel here. It was then time to head back to the airport to the other terminal in Dubai, where Fly Dubai fly from. Again, I had wheelchair assistance here, but all of the gates here are remote gates, so there's no walkways down to the plane. So instead they load you onto the special lift that's in the back of a van, and they drive you out to the plane and then hoist that lift up so that you can walk straight from the lift into the plane. Although Fly Dubai are a budget airline, they also do have a business class section. A quick 40-minute flight and we were soon in Doha. Qatar is a country in West Asia and bordered by Saudi Arabia to its south, with the remaining land surrounded by the Persian Gulf. In 2023, the population was estimated to be a little over 3 million. With a large number being migrant workers from South Asia, following rapid growth from a population of 1.7 million in 2010. The capital is Doha and home to 80% of the population, and the official religion of the country is Islam, with over 65% of the population defining themselves as such, with the remainder being Hindu, Christian and Buddhist. The official language is Arabic, with English widely spoken as a second language. Average daytime temperatures are 92 degrees Fahrenheit or 33 degrees Celsius, with January to March being the most comfortable time to visit, with average temps around 72 Fahrenheit or 22 centigrade, with just half an inch of rain on average per month. We stayed here a total of 5 nights at the Staybridge Suites. The Staybridge Suites is an IHG hotel, and we used points for this stay, of course, which was 25,000 IHG points per night. So let us show you around. Hello and welcome to the Staybridge Suites in Doha. We're on the 16th floor in a 2-bedroom, they call it a residence apartment, whatever you want to call it. We actually booked a point stay here, so because we have status with IHG, this is an IHG hotel, we did get an upgrade. We just booked a regular standard studio suite and we got upgraded to a 2-bedroom suite, so that was very nice of them. We were supposed to stay at a different hotel, but life happens and we weren't happy there. Wasn't the most welcoming hotel we've ever been to, so we decided to leave and came here, and in all honesty this was the first choice that I booked. It's not crazy luxurious, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not crazy luxurious, but we do have a kitchen and a washing machine, which are big things for us. So let me give you a quick tour. So you just came in the door, and then behind us over here we've got a full kitchen. So we've got a gas hob and range and oven, full oven. We've got all our cooking utensils as well. Empty cupboard here for some food. Some complimentary water, kettle, toaster, coffee mugs. There isn't actually a coffee machine in here, so I guess you can have the instant coffee. But there is a coffee shop downstairs, and for all guests, coffee in there is and tea is free all day. So I just had a cappuccino while we were waiting for the room to be ready. Which incidentally, it's 11:30, and they did let us check in early, which was also very nice of them. So coming back over here, we've got a microwave, fridge freezer, washing machine, the holy grail for us full-time travellers, sink, another empty cupboard, and then up here we've got all of our pans, crockery, 6 plates, bowls, glasses, everything you could really need. There's a cafetiere there if you wanted fresh coffee. Knives and forks. And then in another drawer I saw there was utensils to cook with as well. Knife block, they even gave us paper towel. So all set up ready to go, that you can cook your own food. And then we've got this little area at the end here, which if you were working, obviously these are designed to be residences, if you were working, I've been planning to pull this out and have it face the window. But this really nice sort of airy area, or you could just bring your chair through here and sit through here and eat as well, which would also be nice. It's nice and bright out here. So that's quite a nice unusual area. So coming back through the kitchen, we've got a dining area. I believe this is about 1,000 square feet, to give you an idea size-wise how big this is. So a good sized dining table with glass on top, which I also like, it's nice and clean. And then we've got a living area, a really big sectional couch here. Haven't tried it to see how comfy it is yet, but nice and big. So it's actually a really big, good sized living area. TV, probably a 60-inch TV. And some more storage. And then out here we do have a little balcony. We'll probably take you out there last because it's a little bit noisier. It's kind of a narrow balcony, not one you could really sit on, which is a bit of a shame because the weather's really nice at the moment. But it's nice to have this space that you can go outside and catch some fresh air. And then we've got actually 2.5 bathrooms. So right here we've got a small powder room with just a loo and a sink in. And then the first bedroom, right here, we've got its own bathroom. This has got a bath and over bath shower, and of course a loo. And then this one's got a single bed in, so I'm sure this one is going to become our luggage room. Lots of closet space. I hope you can see in here if the curtains are not open, but a lot of closet space, like 3 drawers full of closets, a safe big enough for a laptop, and in the master bedroom there's the same. I'll show you when we get in there, but there's a whole other closet and another safe. Island ironing board in there too. And this is a single room. This is like I guess if you're in the US, I think you count this as a full bed because it's actually bigger than a single but not quite a double. And there is another window behind here, which we didn't open because, like I said, we're only going to use this room probably for our luggage. And there is a TV in here as well. A bit smaller, maybe like a 25, 30 inch maybe. Outlet under here. Don't see any outlets next to the bed. There is an outlet but not a USB. So just a little nightstand. But nice, you know, if you've got kids and you were here and you had a kid that you wanted to put in here. And then finally, we have the master bedroom, which is not the biggest, but has everything you need. So king size bed, nice linens, very nice linens, and it's nice and soft. And we've got like a little dressing area over here with some storage. So this, yeah, just some storage space over here. Nice deep drawers and a cupboard. And then nightstand either side of the bed. Again, we do have an outlet, but no USBs. A drawer, which I like to have a drawer on the bedside cabinet, and light. And then on this side, we've got a mirror image. No outlet on this side because they have their alarm clock plugged into it, but I guess we can unplug that and we can use it. But again, a shelving unit and another closet which has got all of our things in. So there's some drawers in there, and torch, bathrobes, more slippers. So, and then there's another little area with shelves here at the end, and another little cupboard. So there's tons of storage space in here. And some floor-to-ceiling windows, which the windows are a bit dirty, but we are in the desert. We've got a decent view down the out to the ocean there. Another TV in here, bigger one in here, guessing 40 inches maybe, I would think. And then here we've got a little bathroom. So, sink, loo. The loo is a bit low. I'm not sure. Maybe people here are not very tall. It is a bit low. Shower here in the corner. It looks like both doors open, so you can get in. And then we've got the usual shower gel, shampoo, all that stuff in there. So it's not the biggest, but it's got everything you need. Tons of towels. Decent lighting, so it works. Clean, most importantly, it's clean. So I think that's everything. So go back out to the living area. I think the area where it counts, which is really a living area, is, like I said, huge. So I think that's it. The Staybridge Suites in Doha. And finally, I'll let you go and we'll show you the balcony outside, and we'll just take you out there. I'm not going to talk to you because it's too loud, but we'll take you out there and show you the view.
This is 4:57 in the morning. This is a reason not to book this hotel. So car 4 is just a few minutes away from us, and just a quick Uber ride, and we spent a total of 489.25 Qatari reals. So that works out at the current rate about 135 US dollars. So we thought we'd take you through some of the essentials, absolute essentials, that we don't get a chance to eat because normally we're eating in an executive lounge or we're eating in a restaurant, and sometimes you just want a baked potato. Baked beans, cheaper than they are in America because I think they work out to just over $1.25 each.
But a little bit of a treat thing, really.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few treat things in here as well.
Treats in here because they're about 75 cents. Cheese generally is expensive. That's about $4, maybe about $4.50. We've got bananas. The bananas were about, it's quite a lot of bananas, they're about $4. So this milk is 2 litres and it's about 15, so that's just about $4 US. We have bread. Bread's pretty expensive now. There was nicer, less expensive bread, but that's about the same price, about $5 US. As is the roast chickens. This is like it's a bit smaller than a Publix roast chicken or a Costco roast chicken, but that's 20, so that's about 5. There's a lot of things that are about 20 here. Then we've got strawberries. How much were strawberries? All the berries were $12.75, so about $4 US for about 9 or 10 strawberries.
I think that was all imported as well, all the fruits imported, because these are Driscolls.
Yeah, and this beef, they had various different, this is Australian beef, which is about 5. The pizza was 16, I did find it, which is just over $4 US.
In the store there was quite a few familiar items, so a lot of things you would find in the US, a lot of things you would find in the UK. How much was broccoli?
Broccoli was about 50 cents.
Oh, there you go, broccoli was cheap.
So broccoli was cheap. Tuna, that was $1.50. Ragu garlic sauce, that was expensive, that's about $6 US. Blackberries, they were pretty expensive, about $4 each. Not a lot there. $4.
No. I think generally we can say that it's reasonably expensive here.
Yeah, that was about $4.50 for those.
And there's 6 cans. They're a bit smaller cans though, aren't they? Oh no, 330ml. They are the same. They're just tall cans.
Yeah. McVitie's, I mean, they're not bad. They're like $3 US.
Cheaper than they are in the US then.
Yeah. So a bit of a mixed bag, but we spent about $135 in groceries. And this would get us through 4 days.
Easily. And well, today's really our 5th day, so we've got dinner tonight as well.
Yeah.
So 4.5 days really of every meal here.
Yeah, and then we're on the ship. So I hope you like it, and as I say, not the most expensive place, quite a good selection, but not the cheapest.
As we were driving along the Corniche in Soqk Waqif, a caravan of camels, of course, went in the opposite direction. Not really sure why, but it was entertaining.
Good morning and welcome to Doha in Qatar. Today we are at Soqk Waqif, which is the main souk. We remain to be seen what we're going to see. I think it may be a little bit touristy, but it is still apparently a working souk or a market to all intents and purposes for local people too. So we'll take you in and show you around.
And we only have a short time because it closes at 12:30 and then reopens at 3.
Bit of bad planning on our part. We didn't realise that, so we'll show you around.
This souk dates back to the late 19th century, but it was renovated in 2006.
The indoor section is mainly clothes and home goods. We showed you a little bit of footage there. It does seem like that's definitely more local. We've come out into this open area now. The weather's absolutely gorgeous today. And definitely this is the tourist area. It's safe to say. There's actually a cruise ship in today as well, and it's obvious who the cruise ship people are as well. But there's lots of kind of trinkets here in Isle of Qatar, magnets and that kind of stuff. So this section's definitely the tourist area. Oil was discovered in 1940, with it being the economy's main driver. This followed the collapse of the pearl hunting industry when the Japanese introduced cultured pearls to the world marketplace.
So this is Dhow Port, which has only been around since the 70s, but it has changed a lot as the country has grown. It used to be very small. Next to it is the Doha Pearl Monument, and it's designed to symbolise Qatar's history of pearling before oil became its primary industry. Hi, and welcome to the Qanat Quarter in the Pearl in Doha in Qatar. And behind us is one of the most famous buildings, which is, yeah, that's better, that's it, which is 2 hotels, and it's called the Qatar Towers.
And it's which hotels? The Raffles
and
the
Fairmont. And one side's Fairmont, one side's Raffles. And if you look just going past us now, perfectly timed, this is Murano Square, which is trying to rip off Venice.
Yeah, there's a mini Bridge of Sighs, and it's like a whole kind of mini Venice area. I'm not quite sure why they built that in Doha, but they have.
It's a national holiday today, so the place is completely quiet.
It is very quiet.
Apart from the mosque, which is not quiet.
There is a replica of the Rialto Bridge here. Everything else around there also is basically a replica of Venice. Although we were there at a holiday, it was very, very quiet. It is a very popular area to go, and there are a ton of restaurants. Some of them were open, but it was very quiet when we were there. But every cuisine you can imagine is located here. Welcome to the Mina District. So this area was always in existence, but was reimagined in 2022 for the World Cup that was held here in Qatar. And they also made it part of the worldwide art exhibition, and so lots of the buildings here now, although they look very Greek, I have to say, they did base it on a Mediterranean village. So a lot of the buildings look kind of Greek to us anyway, but do have lots of vibrant street art on. This area is also home to this was the old port, but the cruise port is just going to be over here as well, where we're getting on our ship tomorrow. And there's also an aquarium there as well, so we're going to have a little wander around here and maybe show you some of the street art. So we enjoyed having a wander around the Mina District. There were some shops, we had a quick look in a few, some touristy shops, souvenir shops, and there was a few cafes here too. Qatar is one of the fastest growing countries in the field of tourism. This has largely been led by the award of the FIFA World Cup that was held in 2022. This in itself prompted a $220 billion investment in infrastructure, and the country will also host the 2030 Asian Games.
Hi everybody, tonight is our last night in Doha, and we thought we'd catch a Dhow Cruise for a sunset. We set off from the hotel, which is 15 minutes away, and arrived here about 90 minutes later. So sunset has gone.
Today's a national holiday apparently though.
Yes.
And everywhere's closed off and there's crazy traffic, and here we are.
So we'll see what we see, or not see.
So as it turned out, because we were late, we were the only people with one other person on our Dhow Cruise. So we did get to enjoy the city skyline at night though. We only went out for about 40 minutes in the end, 45 minutes. But it was nice to get out on the water and see the lights of the city. At the end of the cruise, we hopped in our Uber to head back to the Staybridge Suites and got to enjoy the lights down the Corniche as we headed back too. This was the end of our short stay in Doha. We didn't do too much, we just took it easy. Glad we got to see a little bit of the city. Be sure to join us next time where we will be joining our cruise ship.
So like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.